My name is Christy Fraser. I'm going to school for funeral services, and I hope to be a funeral director and embalmer. I find it comforting. I actually really like the fact that on the inside of the coach, there's embroidered fabric, and I think it's just more respectful instead of having something like a skull and crossbones, or, you know, yeah. Funerals to me are very important. They're for the living, they're not for the dead. They're very important to say goodbye and celebrate someone's life.
For 39-year-old Christy, the fascination with what some might call the dark side has been a lifelong passion. She finds walking around Calgary cemeteries peaceful, even therapeutic. This touring around tombstones is something that Christy's mother introduced her to when she was just a little girl. The idea was to introduce Christy to the notion that death is just a part of life.
My mom started taking me when I was very little. They're very peaceful places. They're beautiful. I really like art as well, and I find gravestones and monuments very artistic and very pretty. I have 4 wet specimens here that are my button quails that died. They died naturally. I didn't stick them in liquid for whatever.
Being at home with things that most people run away from has translated into Christy knowing exactly what she wants to do with her life.
Some little girls grow up with the intention or, you know, the hope to get married. They play bride, etc. Any little animals that used to die, I'd have funerals for. I was never that little girl that wore white. I've always worn very dark colors, taken pictures of dead animals.
A tour of Christy's home reveals many sides of her life. Embalmed chickens, pigs, and birds decorate the family room. As you enter her home, yet another side is revealed: her fascination with antique medical equipment.
I don't know, it's history to me. There's history in medicine, and...
Not a typical living room, and one that gets strange reactions. Not unlike how people react when Christy tells them about becoming a funeral director.
I get a lot of funny looks. People ask me what I'm going to school for, and I tell them. And you either get, oh, that's really neat, or, oh, wow.
Christy's eclectic interests aren't the only reason she's drawn to the business of funerals. She's also experienced a lot of loss.
I've lost friends and family to everything from heart attacks and strokes, old age, dementia, AIDS, HIV, suicide, tragic deaths, accidents. And they've all affected me in different ways, but they all hurt. And when someone loses their loved ones, that's the hardest time in their life. And I like to be there for them. I've lost a lot of people in my life. Sorry, I'm choking up.
That was okay. You never know what you
Janet Arnold is a professor at Mount Royal University. She specializes in the psychology of death and dying. Christy is one of her students. She says that Christy represents those students that are meant to be funeral directors.
I have learned from all my students over the years, there's so many reasons. Sometimes they have sort of felt like they've had a calling ever since they were quite young and knew that this is just something that they wanted to do.
For Christy, another defining experience happened nearly 25 years ago. She was finally happy again, expecting a baby and already in her 2nd trimester.
In 1995, I lost a baby I was 21, and I lost a baby at 17 weeks. I was showing already. I went in for a routine appointment, and my doctor couldn't find the heartbeat. I didn't lose a child that I could hold. Like, I didn't have that chance. I didn't have that chance to hear its first cry. I didn't have that chance to hold its hand or count its toes. So losing something, and it was just like 1 minute it was there and the next it was gone, was very difficult. I have my son 5 years later. My son is 14 years old, and he is my heart.
She's pretty easy to talk to. So, I don't know, I guess we're closer than a lot of parents are with their kids.
Death is a very big part of life. It's synonymous with life. Everyone dies.
Christy hopes to one day open her own funeral home, but until then, she looks to the future with optimism.
I'm just thrilled that I get to do this. And working in a funeral home, I feel at home here. I feel like this is where I should have been years ago. I am so excited.